After 10 years of marriage, my wife's ideal man came back to find her. They immediately clicked and poisoned me to death. She proudly fell into his embrace, celebrating my demise. Little did she know he was planning to have her take the fall and go to prison in his place. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself reborn back at our engagement party. This time, I didn't stop her from running away from our engagement. I chose to watch as she, under the manipulation of her beloved, stepped toward her own destruction. Aiden, Miss Olivia is trying to escape the engagement. You need to do something. A servant shouted in panic as the entire engagement party descended into chaos due to Olivia's actions. I watched her back as she ran, smiling faintly. It's fine, let her run. I'll call off the engagement. Finally, after all this time, Lucas had come to steal the bride. I went on stage and announced that the arranged marriage between the Aiden and Olivia families was nullified. The guests were shocked. Everyone knew how deeply in love Aiden, was with Olivia. Why was I letting go so easily? My mother tried to persuade me, saying, Olivia has only been charmed by that man from outside. You should go and bring her back. I replied, what's the point of a marriage when someone's heart isn't in it? I treated her well in every way, and she didn't appreciate it. She might even poison me one day. You silly child. Olivia wouldn't poison you. My mother continued trying to reason with me, but I only smiled self-mockingly. Who would have thought Olivia would actually poison me? Even I hadn't expected it. Yet she conspired with Lucas to do just that. In my past life at the engagement party, Olivia went mad at the sight of Lucas, desperate to run away. Lucas is here to take me away. I must be with him, and no one can stop me. I tried to warn her that Lucas was only interested in her family's wealth and that she would end up deceived. But his sweet words had already blinded her, and she insisted on going with him no matter what. In a fit of anger, I forced her to complete the engagement, and we even got married that same day. After the wedding, we gradually became closer. I thought that given time, we could live out our lives peacefully together. But 10 years later, Lucas returned, and their feelings reignited quickly. She invested in his company, helping him thrive. They didn't bother hiding it, flaunting their tragic love affair for everyone to see. I was no longer passionate or driven by feelings. I was ready to let her go if she wanted to leave. So I went to negotiate with her. I offered a divorce agreement. As a friendly suggestion, I informed her that Lucas's company had been shut down due to a Ponzi scheme, and that he was trying to get her to take the fall for him. This friendly tip was my last act of kindness after our 10-year marriage. But before I could say a word, she poisoned me with a glass of water she handed me upon my arrival. Laughing, she fell into Lucas's arms. I lay dead. No one will stand in our way anymore. Maybe even the heavens thought my death was unfair. When I opened my eyes again, I was back at the engagement party. Half an hour later, Lucas finally came to steal her away. I watched as she ran toward him, just like in my previous life. I smiled. In this life, I wish the two of you the best, bound together until the end. Olivia's allotment quickly made the entertainment headlines. Her parents came to apologize to me. Aiden, our daughter made a terrible mistake. We understand your anger and your decision to cancel the engagement, but you and Olivia have been promised each other since birth. You can't just end the engagement like this. Don't worry. We've already sent people to bring her back. This time, we'll break her legs if we have to. Aiden, let us proceed with the wedding as planned. I gave a small, polite smile and declined. Olivia and Lucas love each other passionately. I can't be the one to stand in the way of true love. There will be no wedding. Her parents became anxious. Our investors are waiting on this marriage between our two families. This is about more than just romance. It affects our stocks. We can't cancel the wedding. I signed a wager agreement just last month. Internally, I sneered. So just a little prodding was enough to reveal their true motives. Back when the marriage was arranged, the Aiden and Olivia families were still evenly matched. But 20 years later, the Olivia family was barely hanging on, relying on the Aiden family to survive in high society. This marriage was their only chance to maintain their status. But despite this, they were never satisfied. After our marriage, the Olivia family caused me no end of trouble. I suppressed the coldness in my eyes and gave a warm, reassuring smile. Don't worry. Canceling the wedding won't affect the business collaboration between our families. The Aiden family will continue to support Olivia family projects. They sighed in relief, clutching their chests. That's good to hear. Very good. Yes, excellent. Because without supporting your projects, how else would I bring the Olivia family entirely under my control? I don't forgive easily. Since Olivia killed me, I'll ensure her whole family loses everything. A commotion sounded outside the door. A bodyguard pushed a disheveled figure inside. It was Olivia, her clothes and hair a mess as she was shoved to the floor. Seeing this, Olivia's father kicked her directly. You ungrateful thing. Why did you run away with that poor boy? Are you trying to ruin my reputation? He dragged Olivia to her knees before me. Apologize to Aiden now. Swear that you will marry him. Olivia spat on my handcrafted Italian leather shoes. I would rather die than marry Aiden. The one I love is Lucas. To be with Aiden? Maybe in my next life. Her mother hurriedly took out a handkerchief to wipe my shoe, desperately shaking Olivia. Olivia, are you out of your mind? Don't you care about the family business at all? You're going to be the death of me. Olivia paused, then stood up with an air of superiority. She said, Fine, for the sake of our family's business. I can marry him, but it would only be a name. You can't stop me from being with Lucas. We can have a wedding, but I won't sign the marriage certificate. I'll give you until tonight to decide. If you're late, don't bother. She was always like this, rely on my affection to push my limits over and over. But now, my soul is no longer that of the naive young man she once knew. What makes you think I'd want a woman who wasn't pure as my wife? Her face turned pale. I added, In business, I despise arrogance and hiding things from partners. Unfortunately, you embody both. Now see yourselves out. Olivia's parents turned pale as well. They understood exactly what I meant by hiding things. Last night, Olivia had been with Lucas when the bodyguard from her family found her. The two were tangled together, completely oblivious to the world around them. Her family covered up the incident, even going as far as giving her a pitiful makeup look. But the Aiden family's informants are not to be underestimated. I knew about it long before today. Olivia's father stammered, I didn't mean to hide it from you. I just hadn't had the chance to tell you. I smiled faintly, shutting down his attempts to keep talking. Our business collaboration won't be affected, but if you continue to press me, I can't promise I won't change my mind. Olivia cursed and muttered as her parents dragged her away. After dealing with Olivia, I got into my car and headed to the company. In this new life, not only will I watch Olivia's path to destruction, but I'll also make sure my career flourishes even more. Armed with memories from my past life and a sharper business acumen, I invested in a new rising industry. In 2 years, this investment should yield a tenfold return. During a meeting, there was a commotion outside. A subordinate opened the window to reveal a luxury car drifting into the yard with a loud screech. Olivia and Lucas stepped out of the car. I frowned. What were those two doing here at the company? 2 minutes later, Olivia pushed open my office door. Aiden, I'm here to accompany Lucas in his resignation. Lucas, of all people, was Their relationship had a distinct bitterness, like the feeling of having one's wife stolen by the neighbor. I replied calmly, For resignations, go to HR and follow the standard procedure. Olivia took off her sunglasses, looked at me with a meaningful gaze, and suddenly sneered. If you want to cry, go ahead, little lapdog. I ignored her provocation and continued working. 3 minutes later, Olivia kicked my door open with a bang, Lucas following closely behind. Aiden, are you sick in the head? Since you can't have me, you're taking it out on Lucas? How shameless of you to bully a departing employee. Feigning innocence, I asked, Is there a problem with the resignation process? Are you seriously asking why you took back Lucas's luxury car and mansion? Those were clearly his bonuses. What right do you... I have to take them. My company has a reputation for treating employees exceptionally well. Base salaries are 20% higher than industry standards, with bonuses and year-end rewards so generous they're hard to believe. My close assistant, Lucas, had received luxury perks that most would find enviable. The car that drifted downstairs earlier was one of Lucas's bonuses from last year. I chuckled. The luxury car and mansion were indeed bonuses from the company, but the ownership only transfers to the employee after 5 years of service. In other words, with less than 3 years in the company, Lucas only had usage rights, not ownership. Now that he's resigning, of course, these items return to the company. Olivia pointed at me, furious. Stop making excuses. You're doing this on purpose. You're targeting Lucas just because he's with me. I smirked. Miss Olivia, you overestimate yourself. Your beauty isn't enough to make me rewrite company policy. Review the company rules, and you'll see I haven't singled him out. Olivia's ruckus quickly drew a crowd of curious employees. Many of them had been ridiculed by Olivia before, and now, watching her act unreasonably, they began whispering and discussing her behavior. I don't know where she gets her confidence from. There are plenty of beautiful women throwing themselves at President Aiden. Why would he ever choose her? Exactly. If it weren't for their arranged marriage since childhood, she wouldn't even have a chance to get close to him. Is she blind? How can Lucas compare to President Aiden in looks, ability, or wealth? Olivia's face flushed with anger, and she threw her bag on the ground. You bunch of lowly workers. You could work your entire lives and still not make enough to afford one of my outfits. Who do you think you are to mock me? And remember this, Aiden is the one who isn't good enough for me. I've already registered my marriage with Lucas. I have nothing more to do with Aiden in this lifetime. She grabbed Lucas, giving me a disdainful look. Stupid lapdog. You'll be crawling back to me within 3 days. Watching the two of them bask in her arrogance, I said coldly, quite the pair, like Sherman Ching and Panjon, killing their spouse. Olivia's retreating figure suddenly froze, and she looked back at me, stunned, as if realizing something. She let go of Lucas's hand, pushed me into the office, and locked the door. The large office was now just the two of us. Then she uttered a jaw-dropping sentence. Aiden, did you also come back to life? Her words felt like a hammer to my head. Olivia also came back to life. She sneered. No wonder you're acting differently this time around. It turns out you, like me, have also been reborn. Ha! Unbelievable, right? After I poisoned you, the next second I was back at our engagement party. Her gaze was full of triumph, with not a hint of guilt for poisoning me. The moment I realized I had been reborn, I was determined to escape the engagement and be with Lucas this time around. As for you, just a pathetic lapdog, I couldn't care less. Met her unapologetic stare, asking each word carefully. You killed me, and you don't feel even a shred of remorse? She scoffed. Aiden, are you sick? Who told you to stand in the way of me and Lucas? Better to destroy 10 temples than 1 marriage. Yet you forced me to be with you for 10 years. You deserve to die. I laughed bitterly at her twisted logic. In our past life, the only thing I had ever insisted on was marrying her. During those 10 years, if she had ever requested a divorce, I would have agreed. But why didn't she? Because she was living the high life as Mrs. Aiden, as the second largest shareholder of the Aiden Group. She was worth millions. Her lifestyle was lavish, drinking Swedish glacier water, eating food flown in from around the world, wearing custom designs from high-end fashion designers. She enjoyed her luxury lifestyle so much that she nearly forgot about Lucas. When Lucas came back, she didn't return him out of love, but out of the thrill of novelty. The night before the negotiation, she admitted she was tired of me and craved something new. I had even agreed to the divorce, but she still resorted to killing me in cold blood. I felt my eyes fill with rage, and through clenched teeth, I questioned her. I've been reborn too. Aren't you afraid of my revenge? She laughed loudly as if she'd heard the funniest joke. Then go ahead and kill me and get yourself thrown in jail. Aiden, I bet you'd love to kill me and get your revenge right now, but would you dare? Are you really willing to throw away your career, your company, your life? She patted my shoulder, taunting me. You might have died, but didn't you come back to life? This time I'm marrying Lucas. Don't bother licking my boots. I watched her arrogant figure walk away, laughing in my fury. Olivia, in this lifetime, I won't even need to take revenge on you. The you've chosen will repay you in full. Lucas is far more repulsive than you realize. Congratulations, Olivia. In this reborn life, you finally walked into a living nightmare. Olivia made a show of posting her marriage certificate online. The news reached her parents through the media's questioning, causing them to faint in anger. When they publicly announced they were severing ties with her. Olivia retaliated, stating she would never return to her family and was cutting ties with them for good. She demanded that Lucas give her a grand wedding. We have to have a wedding of the century to shut up all those who are laughing at me. She outlined a plan for the wedding, estimating the cost to be nearly $30 million. Yuka's savings only totaled $10 million. Nowhere near enough for the wedding. In frustration, he snapped, "Do we really have to spend so much on the wedding? It's just for appearances for other people. Why don't we save the money for our life together?" Olivia became furious. "My engagement party with Aiden cost almost $20 million. Are you saying my wedding with you should be any less?" "Oh, sure, compare. That's all you know how to do. You're just..." After registering their marriage, Lucas's true nature began to reveal itself. Olivia was stunned. "What do you mean you think I'm vain? I didn't even ask you for a dowry. Aiden's dowry to me was at least $200 million. Then why don't you go marry him?" Olivia was shocked. "Lucas, how dare you talk to me like that? Let me remind you, I'm the eldest daughter of the Olivia family. I'm lowering myself to marry you, and you're still not satisfied." Lucas, weary, wiped his face and apologized. "I'm sorry, Olivia. I've just been overwhelmed with layoffs and wedding planning lately. I lost control of my emotions. Please forgive me." Olivia calmed down, and the two of them resumed planning their wedding. In the end, Olivia and Lucas reached an agreement. Olivia would transfer her company's shares to get $20 million, and with Lucas's $10 million, they would have a total of $30 million to host an extravagant wedding. After my informant told me everything, I pulled a photo of a woman from my folder. How could I let their wedding go off without a hitch? I must add some excitement to this grand event. While Olivia's wedding preparations were in full swing, my business was also thriving. I had acquired a company run by a team of college students. In the previous life, these students had promoted their game company on the street, where Lucas accidentally bought 2% of the shares. Later, this game went global, and Lucas was able to challenge me with just the dividends from that tiny stake. This time around, I bought out the game shares completely in advance, cutting off Lucas's chance at a fortune. Lucas didn't realize that his fate had already shifted dramatically. A knock sounded at the door, and my new assistant entered. President Aiden. The overseas partner insists on a face-to-face meeting. I left the office and saw a familiar figure waiting for me. "Claire?" I asked cautiously. The woman across from me turned and said, "President Aiden, long time no see." I paused, unable to help recalling my experiences with her in the previous life. Unlike the old Money Aiden family, Claire's family had benefited from the booming economy about a decade ago and moved the mansion next door. That's how Claire and I became neighbors. In time, Claire developed feelings for me, but I was entirely devoted to Olivia back then and mercilessly rejected her confession. "Miss Claire, learn to have some self-respect. You know I have a fiancé, so stop trying to pursue me." I was harsh and even a bit cruel, but Claire didn't get angry. She simply smiled and said, "Aiden, I will always love you. If you and Olivia show the slightest sign of splitting up, I'll be back for you." Then she boarded a flight abroad. 10 years later, Olivia went back to Lucas, and rumors were swirling that we would divorce. Claire immediately flew back to find me. "Aiden, I'm here waiting for your divorce, so I can pursue you." At that time, I was worn out from Olivia's betrayal, and Claire's arrival brought a moment of laughter into my life. So I smiled and said, "Fine, I'll divorce Olivia tonight and marry you tomorrow." But in the end, I never made it out of that negotiation room alive. In this life, my engagement to Olivia had been called off, and just like last time, Claire quickly flew back to the country. She told me, "Aiden, I'm back to pursue you." She booked a dinner for us at the Starlight Hotel, using business as an excuse. Her gaze toward me was anything but professional. Unexpectedly, We ran into Olivia and Lucas during dinner. They were at the table right next to ours, separated by only a thin screen. Their heated argument drifted over clearly. "Lucas, how many times do I have to tell you the invitations must be made of 24K gold with each guest's name engraved? Why did you secretly replace them with standard paper invitations?" Lucas's barely contained frustration was evident. "These paper invitations are gold-plated and cost $1,000 each. That's not cheap. Your pure gold invitations would be over $10,000 each. Where are we supposed to get that kind of money for invitations?" Olivia was unrelenting. "In my circle, everyone's wedding invitations are pure gold. Why should I settle for these trash invitations? Where's my dignity? Our engagement party with Aiden had gold invitations, and every guest received a gold bracelet. That's the kind of wedding I want." "Then go marry Aiden. I can't afford your vanity." Lucas snapped. Olivia was hysterical. "I have to invite Aiden to our wedding. If he sees how shabby it is, he'll laugh his head off. I can't live with that." Lucas sneered. "You think he'd come to your wedding? His ex-fiancee's wedding? Get over yourself." A quiet laugh came from across the table. I looked up to see Claire trying desperately to hold back her laughter. Her face flushed red. I couldn't hold back either, so I took her out to the balcony where we laughed to our heart's content. After we'd had our fill of laughter, Claire looked at me curiously. "Are you actually going to Olivia's wedding?" I scoffed. "Of course. I prepared a gift for them that they'll never forget. How could I miss this show?" Claire smiled faintly. "If it's going to be this entertaining, I must attend as well." Olivia and Lucas's wedding was broadcast live, with a $30 million wedding exaggerated as a $200 million spectacle. At first glance, it did appear lavish enough to be worth $200 million, but anyone with a little expertise could see it was just for show, a hollow display of wealth. At the wedding, Olivia specifically invited me. Suddenly, a spotlight shone on me without warning, accompanied by some sentimental music. Lucas held a microphone, his face earnest as he spoke. "Thank you, Aiden, for letting me have Olivia. She's the kindest, most beautiful girl I've ever met, and marrying her is the luckiest thing that's ever happened to me. If we have children, we'll definitely make you their godfather, so they can learn your broad-mindedness." His speech was nothing short of a public jab, mocking me for the green hat he put on me. I gave a slight smile and replied, "I should thank you two for marrying the woman I once loved. Fate played a trick, and I couldn't marry her, but you were willing to take her in and give her happiness. I truly thank you for marrying a second-hand woman." And he still had the nerve to act. Proud. Lucas's face darkened, and he was about to retort when suddenly a figure rushed onto the red carpet. A pregnant woman snatched Lucas's microphone, crying out, "Lucas, I'm carrying your child. You have to take responsibility." The big screen began showing their couple photos, explicit chat logs, hotel records, and even ultrasound images. This unexpected turn left the guests in shock. The online audience watching the live stream was also stunned. I sat back, smiling faintly. "Olivia, are you satisfied with the wedding gift I prepared for you?" Amy, Lucas's wife in the previous life. Back then, after Lucas failed to steal the wedding, I married Olivia, and he immediately wed an ordinary girl. The only unusual thing about her was that she was visibly pregnant at their wedding. The wedding was modest and didn't stir up any attention. Even Olivia was unaware that Lucas had married. 3 years later, Lucas and Amy divorced, and the child went to Amy with no further contact between them. Doing the math, when he married Olivia, Amy was 8 months pregnant. I quickly sent someone to find Amy. She told me that she had once been one of Lucas's employees and admired his abilities. During a business trip, after a drunken night together, she became pregnant with his child. Lucas, however, never mentioned marrying her. When she saw the video of Lucas eloping with Olivia trending online, she finally understood she was nothing but a plaything for him. She wanted to expose Lucas's true nature, but Lucas offered her $5 million to keep quiet. $5 million. Who would turn down such money? So Amy planned to give birth to the child and live somewhere far away, unknown. But I offered her a more tempting proposal. "I'll give you $20 million. You only need to do one thing." She agreed without hesitation. Amy's disruption at the wedding shocked everyone. Lucas's face turned pale as he called for security to take her away. The guests, all adults, immediately understood what had happened and looked at Olivia with amused expressions. Olivia was completely dazed. Only after noticing the smirks from the guests did she realize how much of a fool she looked in her wedding dress. She nearly screamed, "Lucas, what's going on? Explain. Who is this woman? Is she really carrying your child?" Lucas hastily explained, "It's all fake. It's fabricated. With today's technology, it's clearly forged." As the security guards dragged Amy away, she screamed, "I'm not lying. Just wait for the child to be born and do a test. Lucas, you're the only man I've ever been with. How could you treat me like this, you bastard?" Olivia was on the verge of collapse. Lucas's gaze flickered to me, and suddenly he seemed to grasp at me as a lifeline. "It's Aiden. He planned all of this. Only he has the motive." Olivia looked at me dazed and suddenly shouted, "It was you, Aiden. Haha, caught you." I shrugged, feigning innocence. If Lucas can't keep his pants on and gets himself into trouble, how is that my fault? Olivia suddenly pointed to Claire beside me and asked, "What about her? Can you keep your pants on? Is she your new fling?" Disgusting words. I frowned, looking at Olivia with anger in my gaze. Claire and I are a perfectly respectable couple. We have nothing to hide. CLA suddenly spoke up. I was a bit surprised and turned to look at her. She winked at me. I immediately backed her up. Exactly. We're a perfectly respectable couple. We have nothing to hide. With that, I took Claire's hand. Olivia's face turned white. "You're lying. You've always been obsessed with me. You'd never look at another woman." Her naive arrogance amused me. "After everything you put me through, did you think I'd keep waiting for you? Especially after I was poisoned in the previous life?" I finally realized that loving Olivia was a shameful mistake. Under her shocked gaze, I took Claire's hand and walked away from the farce by the river at night. CLA softly apologized to me. "Sorry for pretending you were my boyfriend. I hope you can forgive me." I took out a cigarette and smiled lightly. "It's all right. I should thank you for helping me out of a tough spot." After a moment of silence, she slowly spoke. "Aiden, I came back to pursue you, so would you be willing?" Sorry, I interrupted her. I don't really know what love is. I thought that marrying someone and earning money for her to spend was love. It wasn't until Olivia poisoned me that I realized she had never loved me in return for my kindness toward her. She looked at me seriously, her eyes shining. "Aiden, I understand. I'll stay by your side and wait for you." After the wedding fiasco, Olivia quickly made a statement. She claimed that Amy was instructed to disrupt the wedding intentionally and that the child she carried was not Lucas's. As for the photos and videos, she said they were all technically forged. She announced that she would be issuing a legal notice to Amy to prove her innocence. However, the public waited a long time, but the notice proving Lucas's innocence never came. Of course, she couldn't produce any legal notice because Amy, under my arrangement, had received $20 million and flown abroad to give birth. Anyone who works with me is handsomely rewarded because I know how to treat my people as real human beings. But some people can't even treat their own daughter-in-law as a person. After Olivia and Lucas married, Lucas's parents insisted on moving in with them. "Finally, I get to live in a nice villa," his father said. "Our son is incredible. He's only been working in the city for a few years, and he's already bought such an expensive place." Olivia, who looked down on people from the countryside, snapped back at them. "This villa was bought with my money. What does it have to do with Lucas? This is my home. You country bumpkins should stay far away." Lucas's parents, accustomed to being domineering, immediately began fighting with her. "My son's home, and you think you can call the shots? So what if you're my daughter-in-law? I'll hit you all the same." When Lucas returned home, he opened the door to see his parents hitting his wife, but he didn't stop them. These past few days, Olivia had been grilling him relentlessly about Amy's situation, practically torturing him. He had long wanted someone to put Olivia in her place. After Lucas's parents had their fill, Olivia with a swollen face, looked at her boyfriend sitting on the sofa drinking tea. She lost it. "Lucas, you're just going to stand there and watch me get beaten?" Lucas shrugged indifferently. "If someone else were hitting you, I'd save you for sure, but these are my parents. I can't start an argument with them over you." Olivia looked at Lucas, shocked. She finally realized her husband was a complete mama's boy. "I want to go home. I'm the Olivia family's precious daughter. No one's ever dared to hit me like this." She returned home to the Olivia family, but only to find the door firmly shut. Her parents had hardened their hearts and refused to let her in. After Olivia and Lucas's wedding scandal, her parents had felt sorry for her and wanted to welcome her back, but she refused them again. This time, Olivia's parents were completely heartbroken. She knelt outside for a day and night, but the door never opened. She finally realized she had completely severed ties with the Olivia family. She would never again be the Olivia family's heiress. Olivia returned home dejected. Lucas's family saw her pitiful state and immediately understood what had happened. Lucas's mother sneered, "You're no longer the Olivia family's heiress, so stop pretending. Now clean up the floor." With that, she spat a seed shell on the floor. Olivia, too tired to argue, said, "I'll hire a cleaner." Lucas's father slapped his knee and stood up. "What a waste. Useless brat. You need a cleaner just to do the chores? You'll burn through all the money in no time. Right now, clean up the floor immediately." Lucas's mother grabbed Olivia by the hair, forcing her to pick up the broom. Olivia cried as she cleaned the floor. After the first time, there was a second. From that day on, the once pampered heiress became a full-time housemaid. Her life became a nightmare. She had to cook 3 meals daily for her in-laws, wash clothes in cold water, and her hands developed painful chilblains. Still, she refused to leave Lucas because she believed he would eventually become a successful entrepreneur, just like in their past life. Even if she was no longer the Olivia family's heiress, she would still be the wife of CEO Lucas. Then one night, while Lucas was asleep, she looked through his phone and discovered he had $7 million in loans. Lucas explained, "I just had a business failure. Can't you stop worrying? We'll start again from scratch." Olivia no longer believed him. She realized that every choice made after being reborn had altered her fate. Lucas would never rise again. She wanted to divorce him, but then she unexpectedly found out she was pregnant. She was stunned, especially since she had always taken precautions. She hated pain, and in their 10 years of marriage in the past, she never wanted children, and I fully respected her decision. But Lucas wouldn't let it go. His parents kept pressuring him for a child, yet Olivia didn't want one. So he secretly pierced holes in the condoms. Olivia had no choice but to grit her teeth, keep the pregnancy, and prepare to give birth. "Lucas, when the baby is born, you'll take care of it, and we'll divorce." But before they could divorce, Olivia caught Lucas cheating. He had brought his lover up to the attic, mocking Olivia as a plain housewife. She's covered in stretch marks. Her face is full of pores, and she's gained weight. I feel nothing when I look at her. "Lucas, you bastard." Olivia burst through the door and fought with Lucas. During the struggle, Lucas accidentally pushed Olivia, causing her to miscarry. In the hospital, the doctor regretfully informed her that she would never be able to conceive again. Lucas's parents panicked when they heard the news. "No way. You two must get a divorce. How can we keep a hen that doesn't lay eggs in our family?" At the same time, Amy gave birth to her child. A paternity test confirmed that Lucas was the father. Amy shared this report publicly online, and I spent a small sum to push this post to the top of the trending news. When Olivia saw the news, her vision went dark, and she almost fainted again. Lucas's parents were thrilled. "Son, go bring back our grandchild. The Lucas family finally has a descendant. We can finally have a grandson." Olivia held herself together. "Divorce. We must get a divorce." But divorce wasn't easy. Lucas demanded all marital assets, including the luxury house. Olivia was devastated. "Without this house, I'll have nothing. I have no degree, no skills. I'll starve." Meanwhile, news of me becoming the city's new richest man hit the trending topics. With nowhere else to go, Olivia sought me out. She arranged to meet me in a car outside my office, and to my surprise, also brought Claire along. She was blunt. "Aiden, I've been waiting for you to realize you missed me. I'm allowing you to be with me now. Claire, you vixen, you make me sick. But I know you're just an actress Aiden hired to provoke me. So after this, you two should end it. I'm with Aiden now." I was stunned by her shamelessness. As I prepared to get out of the car, I saw another vehicle speeding toward us. Instinctively, I shielded Claire beside me, and she in turn held me tightly to protect me. After a loud crash, I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. I hurriedly asked the nurse beside me, "How's Claire?" "Oh, you mean the beautiful girl brought in with you? She protected you, but her right arm was fractured, and she's still unconscious. She should wake up soon." I got her room number, and there I found Claire. She was awake, but pale when she saw me. She managed a small smile. "I was just about to find you," she said. I sat beside her, smiling back. She lifted the corner of her mouth in a smile. "Mr. Aiden, I'm still pursuing you." I agreed, a look of surprise flashed in her eyes. The old me would never have accepted so easily, but now I understood love is about protecting each other. At the moment of the accident, we both protected each other. A voice broke. "Aiden, do you really not want me anymore?" I pulled back the curtain to see Olivia, her face streaked with tears, looking at me. The driver responsible for the car accident was Lucas. The day he was arrested, he shouted frantically, "Olivia, how dare you go to Aiden? You're cheating on me." Lucas was sentenced, but since the outcome wasn't severe, he received only 3 months in prison. During those 3 months, Claire and I got married. Olivia knelt outside our wedding venue for an entire day, but it didn't change my mind. After Lucas was released, he struggled to find a job due to his criminal record. Frustrated and depressed, he started abusing Olivia. Unable to endure it any longer, Olivia poisoned Lucas. It's ironic. Olivia poisoned the man who loved her in her previous life. In this life, she poisoned the man she loved. She lived through 2 lifetimes, yet in the end, she was left with nothing. A year later, she was sentenced to death, and that same year, Claire and I welcomed the birth of our child.